Reporting from Arkham Asylum, this is Gotham Roads. In this video we count down the 5 greatest Two-Face comic book covers. Two-Face has, in my opinion, the greatest visual design of any fictional character, and that is partly why he's my favorite. There's just something that's so appealing about a guy who's a normal-looking man on one side and a hideous, grotesque monster on the other. It's a brilliant visual, and naturally that means Two-Face makes for awesome comic book covers. So here we go, the top 5 best ones. Feel free to write your own favorite covers in the comments, and which character do you think has the best visual design? Number 5. Batman 234. This is the cover of a 1971 comic drawn by the legendary Neil Adams. The story inside is called Half an Evil, and it was actually Two-Face's big comeback after having been absent since 1954. What a great way to introduce him with this dark, eerie image to a whole generation of new fans who had never heard of him. I can't imagine a young Batman fan not jumping at this comic back in '71 when spotting this cover. To me, Two-Face comes off as some demon from Batman's past who's come back to haunt him, and he was, in 2 ways. First, he hadn't appeared in nearly 2 decades, so he was an old enemy now finally returning. Second, Harvey is one of Batman's biggest failures from his early years. Bruce never could save Dent from himself, and he not only lost a good man to the other side, but also a friend and an ally. It's a tragedy that never stops tormenting the Dark Knight. The big, ominous Two-Face head in the background and the helpless, terrified Batman in the foreground symbolize that perfectly. I also really like Harvey's scarring. The color is interesting, sort of a grayish purple. Number 4. Detective Comics 580. Drawn by Jerry Bingham, this is the cover to the first part of a 1987 two-parter. Just like on the previous cover, we've got a giant, menacing Two-Face who looms in the background over a troubled Batman, now with the addition of Robin. This one though is less dark and haunting and more dynamic and explosive. It looks like the poster to an action movie. We've got the train exploding and the dynamic duo being hurled away amidst the debris. It's one of those images that looks as if it's going to leap out right at you. Even Harvey's coin flip is somehow explosive looking. Then we have the skyscrapers of Gotham in the background, giving us the sense that Two-Face is terrorizing the entire city and that the stakes are extremely high. I also just love how Harvey's been drawn here. The classic green, freakish looking scarring may be my favorite design for the character. Sure, it's not realistic whatsoever, but it really gives you the idea of a half man, half monster, as that's what he literally looks like, and not just some burnt guy. Number 3. Batman Annual 14. Another one done by Neil Adams. This is the cover to my favorite Two-Face story of all time, Eye of the Beholder from 1990. Harvey has such a great design that even a boring close-up picture of his face, or faces, is awesome looking. Apparently a lot of people agree with me, as there are plenty of covers like this, but among them all I think this one is the best. Yeah, he's just standing there looking at us, but you still get some excitement just by the way the coin flip is drawn. The background also makes it look more alive with all the vivid lines. I love how they're straight and ordered on the right side, and then just in complete chaos on the left, perfectly symbolizing Harvey's 2 sides. You also get that excellently portrayed in his face, as the normal side is smiling and the scarred appears to be snarling. The scarring itself is done really well too. It's drawn as very grotesque, but the coloring, which is almost the same as his right side, makes it at the same time a bit subtle looking. It's a very unique look that we haven't really seen anywhere else. Number 2. Streets of Gotham 15. This cover to a 2010 comic was done by Dustin Nguyen. It's a bit similar to the previous one in the sense that it's basically Two-Face just standing there, nothing's really going on, but that's where the similarities end. On this one we've got a wider shot of Harvey and Batman is in the background, but of course the biggest difference to all the other covers on this list is the style. It's got a kind of abstract, very stylish look with heavy film noir vibes. Just like the character of Two-Face, the cover is split, not quite down the middle though. One side is black and white and the other in color, primarily red. Black and red go really well together, and I don't know why we don't see Two-Face with that color scheme more often. You can interpret this split image any way you want. Does it mean that Harvey Dent is a part of the past and Two-Face is the present? Or maybe that at this moment Two-Face is in charge while Harvey is in some sort of limbo? Why is the red side more prominent? Is the evil side of Dent winning? It's really up to you what you think it all symbolizes, which is partly why this cover is so good. The other is, it just looks damn cool. That scarring is gorgeous, in a nasty way, and it's as if Batman is just a shadow. Beautiful piece of artwork. And now for the greatest Two-Face comic book cover of them all. Number 1. Batman 313. I wish it could have been Batman 222 or something like that, but sadly no. Anyway, drawn by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, this is the cover to the first part of a 1979 two-parter. At least there's 2 two-parters on this list. So yeah, this is my favorite Two-Face cover and one of my favorite Two-Face images of all time. Just look at this dark, moody beauty. It just screams film noir and even a bit horror. The Batman emerges from the shadows, silently approaching the grotesque Two-Face, sitting in the dark, plotting his next heinous crime. You get the feeling some deadly surprise is about to be sprung upon the Dark Knight, as surely he can't capture Dent this easily. I just love everything about this cover. The ominous moon outside the window, Batman's dragging cape, Harvey's hideout split between a clean, fancy apartment and a dirty, rundown shack. The design of Two-Face himself is also one of the best I've ever seen. I already said I love the green scarring, but I also really dig the classic orange and purple suit, especially in this image. I'm getting heavy Dick Tracy villain vibes from Harvey here, and just like they are, this cover is a perfect blend of noir and the bizarre. So there you have it. Those are the 5 best Two-Face comic book covers in my opinion. By the way, we did it! The channel reached 500 subs before the end of the year. So yeah, thank you all for subscribing and for watching. Without you guys, there wouldn't even be a channel. Anyway, remember, Arkham Asylum awaits you in the next video.